The brutality is shocking. The report reveals at least 5 detainees were subjected to what it calls rectal feeding, interrogation procedures that went on for months. At least 1 detainee died from hypothermia.
Stripped naked, diapered, physically struck, and put in various painful stress positions for long periods of time. They were deprived of sleep for days, in one case up to 180 hours.
One detainee had his lunch pureed and poured into his rectum. He eventually attempted to cut his wrist, chew into his arm, and cut a vein in his foot. Much of the information kept from President George W. Bush's own Secretary of State.
There are CIA records stating that Colin Powell wasn't told about the program at first because there were concerns that, and I quote, Powell would blow his stack if he were briefed.
A former top CIA official says some of the details were held close.
Those who needed to know were absolutely brought in and made parties to the conspiracy. As I said, we were very, very clear that about what it was that we intended to do, what we were doing to make sure that we had the necessary assurances from the Justice Department that what we were doing was legal.
Some of the worst abuse occurred at a secret location called Cobalt, where detainees were walked around naked or were shackled with their hands above their heads for extended periods of time. CIA officers dragged detainees hooded down hallways, slapping and punching them. And an admission in CIA documents that waterboarding did cause physical harm. Abu Zubaydah, repeatedly waterboarded, became completely unresponsive with bubbles rising through his open, full mouth. Internal CIA records called Khalid Sheikh Mohammed's waterboarding 183 times a series of near drownings. Torture that wasn't even effective, according to the report.
It produced little useful intelligence to help us track down the perpetrators of 9/11 or prevent new attacks and atrocities.